What's up? You're off in God's country with Reid
and Dan Isbell,
also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the outdoors. Two things that go together like shooting a buck in your backyard and a sidewalk blood trail.
or hometowns and Pizza Huts.
Produced by MeatEater and iHeart Podcast.
So hop on up and ride shotgun with us as we take the back roads with some of today's biggest hit writers and artists of the songs you know and love.
We're going to sit down with Luke Laird today, and dude's written a million number ones. He's
all around nice guy. The town loves that guy.
Yeah, the town regards him. He's a future Hall of Famer.
Did you say 24 number ones?
Yeah, something like that. A bunch. Yeah, a bunch. He's a future Hall of Famer. Big bow hunter. Recurve.
Legit, I'm talking pretty pure recurve guy.
Yeah, super interesting, man. And he's cool. The town loves him. Really, really excited for this podcast. So stick around, and thanks for hanging out in God's country. Sitting on the row again.
I'm real tired.
Luke, we're coming to you limping this morning, bro.
Sorry.
Hey, I heard you guys were hunting, so
We got back. What time did you get back last night? Same time I did.
Know. I was so energy drink coffeeed that
You slammed a monster.
And then I drank.
I've never seen you drink a monster.
I don't drink because I don't have to do that. Usually, I'm in bed by 9:15, and I don't go anywhere. And I'm not even outside past that.
We went to, dude. Are you a duck hunter?
not sorry.
We're not either. You don't have to apologize.
I'm anti. No, I'm just kidding.
That's literally our sixth one.
Yeah. We went to this place called Island 34, and this guy's building. It's in literally
Arkansas.
Well,
Yeah.
it's weird because it's in Arkansas, but
No,
it's
you get to it through Arkansas,
but it's Tennessee. But it's on the Arkansas side.
Maybe don't tell that because
What?
we got Tennessee license, dude.
No, Tennessee license works
I'm
there,
just saying,
and
quit
ducks are
exposing
federal.
us.
But I'm just saying, it's weird because you go into Arkansas, across Memphis, that big bridge right there, into Arkansas, and then up through there. But anyway, we've been there for a couple days, shooting ducks.
Smacking the quack, dude.
Yeah,
This is the time, right?
This is the time.
I think it's the time. We don't really know, bro. Like, well,
I'm
seriously,
serious.
we don't know.
We can't even pretend like we know much about duck hunting because I can do that one thing.
I can do the hell.
But I can't do that. I can't quack.
No, I can't do it either. I'm
Only
just
thing I can do is that chuckle thing. And we don't even take our calls. I'm gonna be honest. So it's like, you know how like when you write with Jeff Hyde and he picks his guitar up and you're like, I'm
Should've
not touching
brought
mine.
mine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the same
I
feeling.
totally know that
It's the
feeling.
same feeling in the blind. It's like, nah, I'm not even breaking this call out.
We hunted all day the first day, and then
literally.
but we killed 11 limits, man. I mean, like it was. There's like it's a refuge. This guy's has created his own refuge, and they were talking about it. If there's 6 million ducks in the Mississippi Flyway, 250,000 of them live on this guy's place.
So what he's doing is really cool. He's taken like 4 years and essentially not letting anyone hunt.
Yeah.
And except this 1 week, and we were lucky enough to be invited by him to go do some content stuff and just kind of hunt and see the place. And so he's allowing these ducks to literally imprint on the place for 5 years before he's even opening up to hunt.
Oh, wow.
So
And
it
I don't even know what imprint means, but they are imprinting on that island, dude.
Well,
you
you
don't know
see
what-
a lot.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
What'd you
see a
say?
lot.
I said imprint means you get to see a lot.
That
of
is for dang sure, man.
If you're wondering who's Dawson Tones, we got Luke Ain't Scared Laird. with us
Nice.
today.
I like
Because
Ain't
he
Scared
ain't
Laird.
scared, dude.
I don't know. Depends on what we're talking about.
If there's one thing you're scared about, what would it be?
What are you scared of,
The
Luke?
dark or something?
Staying up late.
Same.
Dude.
Man, I'm a morning person.
Oh, really? Like super morning.
Yeah. I
What
wake
time?
up every day at 5 o'clock. No alarm, which is helpful because my 2 kids wake up really early too. But my wife is not. She has to hit the snooze for like an hour.
Yeah.
Same.
So there's probably other things I'm scared of, but that's one I'm willing to admit.
So what time do you go to bed for real? Like
Ideally,
asleep.
I'm asleep by 10.
Oh, okay.
What time's your kids go down?
They
Well, these are old. They're not. They don't go down like ours go down.
No, I know.
no, but they
there's
still,
a bedtime, right?
Yeah, and it used to be, when your kids are young, it's the whole process. Now my kids are just like, I'm tired,
yeah,
and it's
peace out,
early,
Dad.
like because they wake up so early,
Yeah.
so they're a lot of times my youngest is asleep before 7 o'clock. Oldest no later than 8.
Really?
So it's a good deal.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Why is it coming? I mean, it seems to me like if they're already doing that now, aren't they like teenagers?
I'm saying like your kids will get there.
Oh, my kids will get there.
Nighttime is easy.
Oh,
you know.
Man. I'm gonna say something. Yeah. Bath time to
just sweating. You're sweating.
To walking out of the room that I just laid my son down.
Yeah, 5:30 to 7. Ours go down at 7. 5:30 to 7 is it's a jungle in our house, man.
Jumps so they're rolling.
How old are your kids?
200. I got a 21-month-old and a 6-month-old. So we're in it, bro. Yeah, we're in it. We're a Miss Rachel and Bluey household, which we've kind of graduated. Good. We graduated to Bluey. So Griffin every morning she's like Bluey, and so I'll put her in the bed and we'll watch a couple episodes of Bluey.
Have you cried on Bluey yet? Don't lie.
No, I haven't. I mean, I know I've seen some of the the ones the grandpa one where they're the daughter and the mom.
I kind of tune it out, but
what
I've seen. I do like Bluey. We used to. They're not into it anymore.
Oh,
They used to really be into Peppa Pig.
Bluey's great.
I've heard some bad things about Peppa Pig. I heard she's kind of a grouch at times.
Oh, yeah.
Is she?
Yeah, I mean, it can teach your kids, I guess, to be disrespectful. I don't know, but I feel like my
seems
kids
counterintuitive.
do that on their own.
Yeah, they definitely do that on their own. Yeah. Or mine does anyway. My girl does anyway, a lot.
I was in Walmart last week, and I'm a Walmart guy. I'm a small town bro. We grew up in West Tennessee, Savannah, Tennessee, 7,000 people. So I eat Big Macs probably too much and double cheeseburgers, and I go to Walmart to the clearance aisle and go check on some deals. So I was in Walmart the other day and was grabbing my things, and I was in that self-checkout line, and there was this kid that was working the self-checkout line. He's probably 20, I don't know, mid-20s. And I kept on catching him out the corner of my eye, like staring at me. And I was like, "What's this guy doing, man?" I was like, "What's happening here?" Because at first I wasn't.
This feels like a humble brag, real quick.
No, this is great.
Okay.
And so
target audience.
I'm watching this guy, and like he's like, it's so obvious that he's like, just keeps looking at me. I'm like, "What is happening here?" And then in my mind, my brain, I'm like, "Bro, am I getting recognized right now for being a part of the Brothers Hunt and a part of this new podcast? Like, this is crazy."
Probably not, but.
And so he makes his way, starts to come around, and he comes over, and he starts getting real close. And I'm thinking, dude, I'm about to sign an autograph in my hometown Walmart. So he comes by and he's like, "How you doing, sir?" And I was like, "Man, I'm good, dude. How are you?" And he was like, I'm good. And he kind of just like, it was kind of awkward, and I was like, beep, beep, getting my clearance, And he goes, "I don't really know how to go about this." And I was like, "It's happening." And he goes, I was like, "Oh man, it's all good." I was like, what's up? And he goes, "Your hat's on backwards." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Your logo on your toboggan is turned around backwards."
Oh, it was nice that he'd let you know.
And I was like, "Is that nice?" I
was like, he was like, I didn't know how to not be rude about that. And I was like, "Wait, my toboggan? That's what?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, I just wanted to let you know that your toboggan's on backwards." No. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, bro!"
Wow.
So immediately, just like fell off the pedestal that I put myself on right there for a second, thinking that I was about to get.
You do. You love yourself, dude.
No, I don't.
You really do.
I don't. I mean, I'm a cool dude. I mean, it's hard not to
famous,
love. Though. No, I don't. I'm not famous at all. But I just thought that was funny. Jordan told me apparently that was not as funny as I thought it was.
The logo. What was the logo?
I don't even know. It was
on wrong.
I just throw a toboggan on, bro. It was on wrong. Apparently, yeah.
I have a Luke Laird story that's really funny.
Oh gosh!
But it has everything to do with you and nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So Singleton is one of our best buddies.
Yeah.
And we kind of West Tennessee. His band was like our big brother band.
Yeah.
We had a little band. We followed under him. So he one night he asked me to do this riders round, and this was again like I just got to town when this happened. Like, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And maybe we had been talking about you or something, like, or he was telling me who you were or something. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Yeah, Luke's playing it." And I was like, "Oh man, this is crazy! Like, I'm playing around with Jonathan Singleton and Luke Laird. This is insane. These are mega hit guys." I mean, you were. I mean, it was 10 years ago, I guess, or more. Mm-hmm. And so Anyway, I get up there. I guess I played first, maybe, and then they played after me, or vice versa. Y'all played after me. And so, anyway, I get done with my set, or maybe we all played together. I don't really remember. But anyway, I meet Luke, right? So I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, dude, love your songs. Great stuff. I was like, thanks. So he's like, man, I'd love to write with you. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, hell yeah, man. Like,
of course.
We swapped numbers, everything. I get back in John's truck. I was like, dude, you were right, man. Luke Laird's awesome. He was like, what? I was like, dude, gave me his number. Like, I've been texting him. He was like, that was not Luke Laird, dude. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, that was Luke, and then said his, I'm not going to oust the guy here, but he said the guy's name. I was like, well, so that's not like a major famous songwriter? He was like, no, dude, he's just the guy that runs the round. Like,
oh my gosh.
He just worked at the place. And his name was Luke.
How'd the right go?
I'm wondering if I still have
really?
it. You know what I did. I'm gonna look and see if I still have it. But I thought for the longest time.
Well, I'm glad he at least represented me well.
Dude, you were super. Oh, okay. I still have it. That's not your number, is it?
No.
Yeah.
In your phone is Luke Laird, though. That's awesome.
I know there's probably an agenda, but just while you're on that, I have a great Luke story. I always tell people I'm the least famous Luke on Music Row, but back in early 2000s, I'd recently gotten a publishing deal, and it was around the same time that Luke Bryan got his record deal. And I hadn't met Luke yet or anything, but I'm getting set up on every co-write at that point is like a brand new person.
Sure.
And I was for sure low man on the totem pole. So I got set up one day with Dennis McCoskey. I don't know if you know who that is. Yeah. Dennis he's a really nice guy. I went to his house, show up, we meet. He's like, man, so nice to meet you.
Green Hills house?
Yes.
Yeah, I know right where you're at.
And so we were
talking about where he is.
We were writing, and we're like halfway through, a pretty decent song, and he's just making conversation. He's like, man, so when's Capitol talking about putting your record out? And I've realized in that moment, he thinks I'm Luke Bryan. And we spent like half a day together.
Before this point.
And
did you out him? Or
I was embarrassed for him, but I didn't care. But I was just like, oh man, this guy took this right because he thought I'm writing with an artist with a record deal. And I was like, man, I don't know. I'm so sorry, but I'm actually Luke Laird. I don't have a record deal. I actually don't even have any cuts. So I appreciate you taking the time. And if you don't want to finish the song, I totally understand. But he was so gracious and nice. But I'll never forget that. I'm sure I was wondering. I wonder if he called his publisher like, "What are you?"
I thought I was right with Luke Bryan today.
And I was also thinking, did he hear me singing? Like,
or look at a picture.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I had the looks, but outside,
no doubt,
still got them, dude.
Dan, what's your favorite Luke Laird song?
Oh.
Do the mic thing where you have to.
I'll do it. How does it start? Hang on. Damn, I used to love this few. Yeah. Sit here and drink a few. Down to high school.
Oh, on Friday night. Down there's another touchdown. Man, this year's team is down. Great song.
Next to going crazy. And up here, so maybe.
Yeah.
Think about you sitting there saying, I hate this, hate it. Couldn't stand living here, why'd you take it, give me back my hometown. Cause this is my hometown.
Come on!
Yeah, I love the.
Yeah.
Dude. That's a great one, man.
Thank you.
Tough.
Eric
tough.
Church, he's okay.
Tough tune, man. Who'd you rather with?
With Eric.
Just y'all two?
We wrote that, out in North Carolina. I was driving out there.
Banner Elk is his place?
Yeah, around there, yeah. I had my old Nissan Frontier.
Yeah, man.
And it was starting to have some issues, and I always wanted just to. I mean, I'm not like a big car guy. I don't know a lot. I can't even change my own oil. I'm gonna be honest.
We can't. We don't know anything.
But why would you if you got Jiffy Lube? So
no doubt.
But my wife, we were talking about maybe I could get a new truck. You know, I'd had that one for 10 years, and I just wanted a black F-150 Classic. She's like, yeah, when you get back from Riding with Eric, let's go look. And I call her on the way and said, yeah, I'm thinking about the truck. She's like, yeah, when you get back. I'm like, no, I think I need one now. She's like, what? Well, what was going on the interstate? I was having transmission issues. And I was like, way? I'm not going to make it to North Carolina. I literally needed to buy a truck today.
Right now.
She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yes. She goes, okay, I'm going to call you back. She calls me back. And this is my wife, if anybody knows her. She's very organized, actually makes a plan where I just kind of wake up. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's right there.
And she goes, here's 2 dealerships in Knoxville. I think this one has the truck you want. I was like, perfect. She goes, I'm going to send you the Edmunds report. Do not pay more than what it says on there, because I'm a terrible negotiator. I'd just be like, sure.
I trust you.
That's how we got him on the podcast. He's like, who are these guys? Sure.
I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm like,
if you'll quit calling me, I'll do the podcast.
No, shoot. So I get there, and this guy standing out in the rain. It's on a Monday, raining, mid-morning, smoking a cigarette. I pull up. I said, my wife called. Yeah, we got you, man. He pointed over. There's a black F-150. I was like, awesome. I want to kind of buy it. I want to buy it right now. And he goes, well, do you want to test drive? I was like, no, I'm good. Because I was in a rush.
I'm about to test drive it all the way to North Carolina.
And then I started thinking about Beth. I was like, oh, gosh, I at least need to drive this around the block. She's going to be like, you didn't even test drive it. So I get in there, try to make it happen as fast as possible, but there's just no fast way. Yeah. And so finally, I get out of there, move all my junk. My truck is a cluster. Mm-hmm. Get everything into the new truck, and I'm heading to see Eric Church in a brand new truck. I pull up to his cabin. He comes out. He's like, man, nice truck. When'd you get that? I was like, just a little couple hours ago.
Yeah, 6 hours.
He's like, what? And I was like, yeah, but, and then he kind of just went past. He's like, oh, cool. And so I was like, this is a good opportunity. I said, yeah, I did just buy it. We really need to write a single. So I kind of put the pressure on him, and he was like, okay.
And then you wrote that?
Then the first song we write that day is the furthest thing from a single, but I'm here to serve the artist.
Ain't no doubt, bro.
It was I'm telling you, it was real out of left field.
Not radio friendly. I was just going
through it, but I was like, I'm going to power through. Then the next day we wrote that song.
Yeah.
And of course I didn't know it was going to be a single when we wrote it, but I always like telling that story.
Dude,
was that his idea or your idea?
It was his idea. He said, I want to write a song that has one line in the chorus. So my commercial brain's thinking, I'm not going to like this. Just repeat it a bunch. He's like, it's just, give me back my hometown. And that line just says so much that
expound on it.
We could
write all day.
The thing in there about Pizza Hut, I was thinking about like my hometown. That's like, if you're going to go out to a nice meal, you went to Pizza Hut.
Dude, same exact thing. And when I listen to that song for the first time, or even now, like friends used to cheer me up. We get together. I know what booth I'm in at Pizza Hut. And
totally.
up on the thing.
What's yours? Because we was the same Pizza Hut.
I mean, right when you pull up and turn right, and you turn into that first parking lot or the first parking spot.
No, I'm talking about which booth.
No, that's what I'm saying. You turn at
walk into the door.
You walk into the door.
Salad bar right in front of you.
Straight left, all the way in the back corner, or like the one before. The back corner.
Mine is opposite side? Straight left, all the way back corner, opposite side.
Yeah, we were on
closest to AutoZone.
Yeah, we were on this side.
That was my booth, dog.
Yeah,
man.
Ate a bunch of sausage, hand tossed pizza, and that.
Had a lot of cheese sticks in that song.
Yeah, that's a great song.
It kind of makes me crave a little heartburn,
Oh, I could run it right now. Well, I could put down a medium pan pepperoni right now.
No doubt.
By myself.
This is my favorite song. It's called I Don't Want to Brush My Teeth.
What is this? Is this a joke? Is this a joke? I don't know.
Dude, this is on Apple.
We can't listen to it anyway.
Oh, I own the master.
Never mind. He owns the master.
So this is
that's
a
my
song.
COVID project.
Really? He's singing the lyrics. Dude, this is called the Cool Chips EP, or this is like an EP. There's 5 songs. This is Luke and his kids.
I can't wait.
We were cooped up at the house, and I was literally like, the first song we did was called Rocks, Worms, Dirt. We were outside
which is great.
one day,
it fits
and
awesome.
I'm recording with my phone the kids, and they were talking about rocks and worms, dirt, and I sampled it, made a beat out of it.
Nice.
And that was the first song. I set up like a little studio in the kitchen, and I got them to, I mean, they're not savants, I'll put it that way.
Jeez.
Look at
but
this.
I
Look
just
at this.
recorded a bunch, and Beth was like, just do 5 more, and we'll put it out.
The Cool
Are
Chips.
those actually Cool Ranch Doritos?
I asked Jake, I'm like, what should our family band be called? He's like, the Cool Chips. And I was like, there's no reason. So we had somebody design a little graphic. Kind of looks like a Dorito.
Are those tunes, are they like things you were making up like in life, just like songs?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So I just wrote, other than like You Are My Sunshine. That's
Yeah,
one.
sure.
But yeah, it was, honestly, it's one of the
That's
most
fun.
creatively fulfilling things I've done. Because I recorded everything by myself, and then we put it out. And
That's what I can hear. I don't want to brush my teeth.
I don't want to brush, but you gotta brush your teeth. We gotta like pee after we
got
go.
play it on like whatever XM's kids station is. Then
Got some playlisting.
I got a
Wait,
call.
it did?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I got a call for this like some like big children's festival thing. I don't know that world at all. And they were wanting to book us to, and I said to the guy, I was like, man, I'm gonna be honest. I go, do you remember Milli Vanilli when they got outed as like they couldn't really sing? I go, this would be worse than that. If I bring first of all, my one kid would never step foot on stage, and what it took to even get that, they didn't like. Sometimes like I don't really want to do it, and so as I'm recording, I'm having to record it 1,000,000 times. Yeah. So it was fun for that time, and then, but
y'all go stream some Cool Chips. It's good.
I promise. 'Cause I bet that's cooler than what
Jordan
we
told me
to.
about that, and we've got this like sheet of stats on you now.
Oh my gosh.
Stat sheet
that Jordan hooks us up with. But she did some research on you. But I thought about like I was like, man, because we do the same thing. I mean, like I've got. Diaper, gotta change your diaper.
Oh wait, what is mine? What's the one?
Or what is it? Cause diaper is so stinky, and my she's like my daughter
doesn't want to hear that.
No doubt, she's like diaper, and so that's how we get her to not roll all over the changing table. Is we sing this diaper song, and I thought to myself like. We've got 3 or 4 more, and I'm like, man, that would be cool to make a project. And she told me about it.
Do it when the kids are little. You know what else are you gonna?
Dude, here's ours. Here, I recorded me and Liza's.
Gotta stay back from the fire. Stay back.
It gets groovy right here. Why? It will burn you up.
Yeah, dude.
I like the screaming in the background too. It's like
That's my
someone's
other-
getting burnt.
Are you a beatboxer, bro? You've been beatboxing in here already.
That's how I have to start a lot of songs. I've had like I counted one day like 5 or 6 songs that actually made it to the radio with my beatbox on.
What?
It's not always super obvious,
5 or 6.
but if you listen
you
for
mean
it
you started the ride
in the
with
demo
you?
that made it to the master that made it onto the.
Wow.
Are you getting paid for that sample on top of?
I think a few of them. Some of them I don't think I.
Dude. Are you like Justin Timberlake?
No. It
more like
can't
Timbaland.
It can't be
Like,
over about 92 BPM, and my pocket's good for about 1 bar.
do the fastest one you can do right now.
No,
Come on.
I always fall into the same.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
That's what my youngest, he naturally just does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some 808.
Now that's a little,
Okay, man. That's getting.
That's a different level.
That's getting
I don't know how your
levelish.
levels are.
Yeah, that's getting. That's a sophomore year of beatboxing. It feels like.
It's 201.
I can't do the.
I don't know.
The bass. I mean, I can do bass, but I can't do.
Well, I
can't
can't
do
do
that.
it in tune. I would have
I mean,
to
you
tune
went.
it.
Yeah, you got like the
something.
rumble, like the
Yeah.
like.
Well,
the,
when I was in high school, there was a huge song which you guys probably know because but that song by Genuine called
I'm just a bachelor.
Yeah, that
And
one
so
bar.
I got sent to the
Blah, blah.
office because I was being distracting in like one of my like history class. Because when it was popular, I was like,
This is pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
Dude, I'm with it.
It's pretty
He's
good.
like, you got to quit being distracted.
My sister used to jam that song, dude. It'd be like 7:15 in the morning, and I'd be like, I could hear her in there. I'm just a bachelor. My dad was like, turn that off.
That's when Timbaland like blew up. Yeah.
Was that his?
Yeah.
Really? Was that like his first one? I didn't even know that, dude.
It had to be
That's
one of
awesome.
his first. He had a lot of.
Talking about growing up, where did you grow up? You're Pennsylvania guy,
Yeah.
right?
I grew up northwestern Pennsylvania. There's a little town. I kind of claim two towns. Even they're about 30 minutes apart. But I grew up on Laird Road next to my grandparents' farm, and outside of a place called Conneaut Lake, Pennsylvania, which is Conneaut Lake. It's it's like an old Iroquois Indian name, and it was like population 700. And then we moved to a big town called Grove City, Pennsylvania, which was about 7,000 for high school. That's where I was there. But yeah, all my family, extended families in that area, and grew up on a dirt road next to my grandparents.
Yeah, man.
And that's why I thought it'd be cool doing this too, because just the hunting culture, is just part of everything.
Yeah, man. There. We never met. I don't think I've ever met you before today.
I thought I met you.
We've been.
I was starting to feel bad there.
So far, we've had people on that we've kind of known, so it's been easy to jump in. And so I did a little, like just Instagram scroll, and dude, your Instagram scroll or feed or whatever you call it looks like. Just then you were showing us pictures, like our pictures look the same.
Yeah.
You know how it's like deer season, there's deer pictures. In the summer, there's like kids in bathing suits.
In the same stage.
Yeah, it's in the same. But looking at yours, there's like old pictures of you and you as a kid holding your dad's deer. Or your dad's, or you with a recurve with your son. Like, and that's that. I was excited to get in here today because it seems like you grew up a lot like we did, and there's going to be a lot of foundational things we could sit here and talk about.
Sure.
And the hunting, because there's guys in town that like project. I'm a hunter. I do this. I kill big deer. I do it for this. But I didn't even know that you hunted. And then when Jordan started telling me about and showing me some of these pictures, like your dad coaching your sons. I saw a picture of your dad coaching your son's archery tournament with a jersey on that said Laird on the back of it. And dude, it's so cool, man.
Yeah, I didn't know
it's
that.
So sick.
Yeah, my dad, he's passionate about archery, like I am about songwriting.
Yeah.
Like, and he's an incredible shooter. Like they had a team in college even, and he also, they had like growing up, field archery, he's won like probably close to 20 state tournaments.
Shooting 3D and target stuff?
It was target all back then.
Okay.
But he's an incredible shooter, and so that's how I grew up, shooting bare bow, which is basically no sights.
Yeah.
I'm not anti any of that, and he's the same way. He's got a compound, and we'll shoot with sights and all that. But my niece, who's now a freshman at Tennessee Tech, is an incredible shooter.
Really?
He coached her as well, and she's won tons of S3DA tournaments.
You think you coach Reid?
Dude, I'm good.
He's good.
I'm not recurving, but I'm
just talking about shooting a bow, period.
I'm a great bow shooter.
But my dad, he's retired now, and what he does for fun is he coaches kids.
It's becoming a big thing, right?
Volunteering, like he said the sport of archery, one thing he always loved, especially with the kids, a lot of the kids that maybe weren't part of the basketball or football or like one of the school sports, it's something that they could attach themselves to. And he said it can be a lifelong thing. And
absolutely.
Just wonderful people in that culture and very supportive. So that's what got me into it. I was never I didn't get into tournaments and all that, but it just as far as like bow hunting, shooting in the backyard and stuff.
So how does like a rooted, legit bow hunter feel about crossbows?
I don't think it's really archery. Like
I agree with that.
It is more like shooting a gun. Like, yes, it's not a 30-06, but I don't have like a hard, like, I can't believe somebody. I mean, it's like that'd be if I was anti-gun. I just, Like I don't.
Not
It's not the same as going out and shooting.
It's not the same.
It's not. And
I have
when
one,
I tell
and I
people
don't
when
hate
people
them
tell
either.
me they got a deer with a bow, but they leave out the crossbow part, I'm always a little like,
Yeah,
Put the cross in there. Put the crossbow in there.
and that's different than recurve. And because, like I said, I'm not a purist. Like,
dude, a recurve and a
recurve and-
compound.
but even
very different.
there's a big difference there.
Very
but it's
different.
still, I don't know. There's still something about I don't know. I don't care if someone. I mean, I've got a ton of friends now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way more common now. You know.
Sure. Yeah.
Tell us about, you killed one last year, right? Is this past season? With your
The
dad's
story-
recurve?
This past
tough.
year in November, I got shot 2 bucks with one of my dad's recurves.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's tough.
And
That's super
it's the
cool.
same bow. I got one back in 2009 in Ohio with this bow. Now, full disclosure, there wasn't a lot of effort put into that hunt because I was at my house in Forest.
Hey, look, man.
It
You still
wasn't
had to-
high fence.
You still had
there's
to
no-
put some effort into
But listen,
it.
There's nothing wrong with town deer.
I think we
or
were talking
neighborhood deer.
earlier when you have kids like the age that ours are now. It's hard to find time and justify going out
Tell me
and
about it,
putting
man.
the time in
Tell me about it.
that it takes to
Absolutely.
kill deer. So we have a little cabin right next to our house where I write and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, during the rut, I'm gonna keep a bow down there.
Love that.
And I had a guy last year.
I love that you keep a bow, not like a rifle.
we were
Like
in
it's
the
a recurve.
I was in a write 2 years ago, and I won't say the names of the co-writers, but it's probably a good idea to ask, well, how do you feel about hunting before you...
Before you launch one off the
So all of
porch.
a sudden,
Hang on one
this
second.
butt comes, and I was like, hold on. And the guy that I was with, look, this is awesome. So he's videoing me, and the girl was, I didn't realize it till afterward, was freaked out.
Oh, no.
Now, fortunately for her, I missed. I got
You
on video.
got a shot.
I got a shot and missed, and I could tell it was. I was like, man, and I told my wife about that. She's like, you're so dumb. I was like, I know, but so
You got to take care. You got to take the opportunity when it presents itself because
this year
it's tough, man.
I was sitting down there working on a song, and here because I know which way they're going to come from. I was like, okay, here we go. Grab the bow, and he's coming from the back of the cabin over on like the west side, and so I sneak out the front door and wait over by the corner, and here he comes, and I just, and it's an instinctive thing, so you're not like, what's the range,
Sure.
there's no sight or anything.
Yeah.
And believe me, I've missed a lot, but this one I was like, man, that was a good shot. And the cool thing about it was he didn't go super far, but it was the first time I got to take like one of my sons to like track it. And so I went to the house and asked him. He's like, yeah, I'll go with you. And so it was just such a good memory because of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
And so my oldest son, Jake, and he was real excited. I go, get your stuff on. And he comes out with like 10 pocket knives. And I was
Can never have too many.
You never know,
a
dude.
survival
Can never
backpack
have.
You never
over
know,
there.
Dang, that's
man.
awesome.
And-
Could be a
and
freak
so
snowstorm.
he was ready
get
to-
stuck out there, have to fend for
Yeah,
He was
yourself.
ready to go.
Yeah.
And so we get, we find the deer. It was made a good shot. It's like a little single blade Zwicky, they're called.
Oh, yeah.
Broadhead.
What's ethical range with a recurve?
So I looked, that was probably about 20 yards.
Okay.
And the deer I shot 2 days later, about the same distance.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I knew it was like, yeah, if they get honestly out past 30, for sure 40, I'm probably not gonna shoot.
Dude,
That's even tough with a recurve. I mean,
Yeah.
compound is.
Yeah, so it was
for
I
you,
was
stuff
super
for
grateful. So we get to the deer and I'm like, you got to hold the legs, and we
Yeah,
did
man.
the whole thing. And I was like, if it bothers you, you can look. No, I'm good. I was so proud. I was like,
Yeah.
man, okay, it didn't freak him out too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be. But the one thing he said that cracked me, he goes, "Oh, it smells like a petting zoo." I was like, that's pretty accurate.
So he related that.
is
too.
not wrong.
Yeah.
And then
He's
the
been to
buck,
some petting zoos
the buck
before.
I shot it was almost just like a repeat of that day, 2 days later, which was a lot.
So is it rut? Is it rut? Is
Yeah.
that what's happening? That's
Yeah.
why they're coming through there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And that second one I hadn't seen, almost same exact shot. And he didn't even go as far, but I had to call up my buddy Rhett Atkins to come over and
Yeah.
and so somebody could help me lift it into the truck. And then Rhett, you know, after he goes, let me get a picture by myself just in case I don't get something this year.
Smart man.
Dude, the spread on this thing, he's tall too, man. That's a good deer.
He's pro. He's pro.
That's a good deer.
Hey, I was very grateful.
You should look at Rhett back there.
Yeah. Rhett Atkins, I call him, he goes, for all your in-town tracking hunting needs, call Rhett Atkins.
All right, tell us about, speaking of in-town hunting.
Oh, gosh.
Let's get it and go, dude, tell it the best you could tell it.
So I do live I'm in Davidson County, and we're on 8 acres.
So you've done your research. Give us a little rundown on what, like, so you can only bow hunt in town. It has to be your property.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't
assuming.
take the rifle out there.
Right.
Yeah, you can hunt on your
regardless of
property.
like size of your property. Like if you have 100 acres, could you rifle hunt it in town?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I guess you probably could, because there's places in Davidson County.
I would assume there's probably some sort of cutoff.
I honestly don't know. Maybe
time to freshen up on that.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So last year.
So you hunt off your porch. All right. Yep.
Yeah. There's not a lot of time in the day. So during the rut, I'm kind of always prepared. And I write songs at home. And I just dropped the kids off at school. And so it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I pull back in to our little cabin on our property. And I get out, and in the trees, I was like, oh man, I hear some rustling over there, and it wasn't squirrels. So I run inside, grab my bow, come out to the front porch, and kind of lean up against the cabin, and I see a doe come out. So I was like, oh, here we go. Because I knew they were chasing.
Yeah.
And I just kind of, no cover. I just stand right on the front porch, like just wide open, and I see a buck. It's got his nose down, and he runs like straight towards me to where I thought he was going to run into me. Like not, so I'm just like, bah. I just tried to make some noise. And he stands up, kind of looks right at me, and he's broadside, but then he turned his head, and it was just happened really fast. Yeah. That one I did shoot with the compound. Gotcha. Arrow went straight through. I was like, that was a really good shot. Yeah. The problem is, he wasn't aiming down towards where the more woods were. There's a subdivision right behind that cabin. And,
beautiful.
And
he headed toward the subdivision, huh?
I thought he went down before that, so I gave it some time. I walked. Really good blood trail.
How much time did you give? Because
I know you're so excited.
I'm so excited.
I want to say I gave it a good like half hour.
Okay.
So.
A lot of time for a subdivision shot. I'm just saying.
I know, but I didn't know that because there was still a little bit of woods, and I thought I heard him crash like closer. So
you felt good about it.
I get in just easy trail to follow. All of a sudden, I follow right to this backyard of a house. The trail didn't stop, and I noticed walked through their driveway up around to the other side, and I was
following the blood trail through.
So I didn't go into their property, and I was just like, oh man. So. I get in my truck, go down through the gate of that. It's a gated community.
Yeah, got to go around.
Go up this other road, and I'm just looking everywhere. And by this point,
it's manicured lawns.
It's manicured lawns, beautiful homes.
Oh, man.
And I'm just looking, and nothing. Go up, turn around. There's moms out there walking, and and as I drive down, I look to the left, and it was like on a hill. There's this beautiful white home, and right in the middle of the front yard.
He's laying there,
and there's 2 cars in the driveway, and I'm just like, I don't know whose house it is. I literally just keep driving and sweating.
Just
you had to think it through, right?
The brain of what to do next.
Yes. I knew I didn't do anything illegal, so that I was at least felt good about that. Right. However, you don't know how people are going to react.
Sure.
This is the difference in where we grew up.
Your brain kind of goes to that place of like worst case scenario.
Oh, I
know. These people are
welcome
to
being a songwriter.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happens. It's like they're going to be anti-hunting.
We're good at that.
Yeah, they're going to call the cops.
Yeah. And I didn't know, and so I just. First thing I think to do is call my dad. I told him the whole situation. He's like, well.
Done the same thing. I'd have done the same thing.
Same exact thing.
He said, first of all, if you got any camo on, he goes, go changed, look representable. Don't just roll up in there like a redneck. And
Good. That's good.
I was
Good
like,
advice.
well, I was like, well, the
Strong
good
advice.
news is I didn't, because I didn't even have time to. I was just wearing probably sweatpants or something. And then I was like, I just got to get this over with. So I turned around, pull up in the driveway, just like said a prayer, Lord, please
Yeah.
let this go well.
Go before me.
Yeah,
in
please.
this situation.
Please, God, just remove that deer from the yard and put it back in the,
Put it back in my
Make
truck. Let
this
me drive
last
off.
10 minutes not even have happened.
Beam me up, Jesus.
So I pull in, the deer's right here in the yard, front door opens, this woman walks out, and before she says anything, I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, hey, Luke. And I realize I knew her.
that helps, though.
Yeah, I was like hoping it did,
Yeah.
Didn't
You're
know
right.
her well, but she was, her kids go to school where my kids do. And I was like, this is my worst fear. I am so sorry that this deer, she goes, oh no, she goes, I called my husband at work and told him there's a dead buck in our yard. And he told me that, well, it is hunting season. I bet somebody will track it. So thank God.
Perfect case scenario.
Oh, man,
I said,
that's
well,
just
I'm
that.
so,
Yeah.
I said, I really appreciate it. But also, by the way, I'm walking in her beautiful sidewalk. There's just blood everywhere. I was like, I even said, can I get, if you let me know where your hose is, no, she's like, no, we'll get it. I was like, oh my gosh.
You're like, do you want a backstrap or something?
And then,
You blood trailed up a concrete walkway.
and
man.
so then I backed up, and I didn't want to be like, hey, by the way, can you help me carry this?
Right. I need some
So
help.
I
pretty big
literally, I just grabbed the antlers.
Yeah, dude. At that
And-
time, though, it's like pure adrenaline.
Let
Get
the
this
adrenaline
thing out
Oh,
of
no.
here.
hoping
doubt.
I don't blow my back out.
Yeah,
And
who
just
cares? Who
Threw
cares?
it up in there and
Yeah.
got out of there as fast.
Thank you so much.
I was sweating like crazy. It was so nerve wracking.
That's a great story.
And to the point where I was like, next year I'm not even going to attempt. And then I shot 2 this year. Thank God. But this is my new, and who knows if this will work. But I'm like, okay, if they're walking, aiming towards that way, I'm not going to shoot them. But if they're going the other way,
Yeah.
like they would've
Yeah,
just
we'll
turned-
see. We'll see when
So
that
this year-
160 walks out aiming that way, whether or
this
not
year
you do
was
or
the
don't shoot.
ideal. It happened 2 times, and I couldn't believe it. It was great, but last year.
You know, it's
We
probably
have-
a good thing that you're doing that because there's a lot of traffic in there.
I'm trying to help out,
honestly, you're
keep the
probably just
population.
helping yeah.
We have a
man.
buddy in Alabama that tells a story. It was squirrel season, and he was having this one squirrel in his backyard that was just driving him crazy. And he had his bow, and he had been practicing shooting his bow. And the squirrel was up on the fence, and the squirrel jumped down, got on this ledge, and he lives in subdivision. It's just like a quarter of an acre.
Yeah.
So he grabs his bow, same thing on the back porch, pulls back, shoots the squirrel. As soon as he shoots the squirrel, the arrow goes through him but stays. He jumps on the fence and jumps over the fence. And he's like, oh no. And he runs up there on the ledge and looks. And this squirrel's running toward the target that is right behind his house
with the
arrow. So he runs and gets in his truck. Same thing. He has to go around. And he's driving
to
through the target, chasing this squirrel that's got an arrow through him under these cars.
These kids are like, oh my god! Like
Yeah,
moms
you
are
don't wanna
trying
freak-
I mean, I wouldn't
yeah.
want my kids in that either.
No,
honestly.
I know.
Yeah, town hunting, man. It
Comes with its own set of
It does.
complications.
It does.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It does.
Let's switch gears to some music talk. Look at this list of tunes, bro. It says a slew of Grammy and ACM and CMA, a slew of nominations, dude.
My
This
people
got
wrote that?
52 radio singles, 24 of which were Billboard #1 hits, 5 of which were in the top 5, 2 Billboard #1 singles as a producer, more than 125 release cuts, bro. You're all over the place, man.
Our granddaddy always said, "Let somebody else do your bragging."
Yeah, no-
That's what we're doing, man.
No,
we're bragging on you.
Hey, man.
I mean,
And I'll say
and
this.
these songs, man.
I'll say this too. We were talking earlier. We don't know how our paths haven't really crossed until today, but man, people love you in this town. Like you're a light in this town, and we appreciate who you are as a writer and as a person.
I
honestly.
appreciate
even
you.
not knowing you.
People love you guys too, man.
Wow.
I hear
So
nothing but good
my
things.
first question is, why haven't you written with me and Dan yet?
I think that's probably because Rusty Gaston won't let me.
I'll let him know, man. I'll drop that.
No, where does that, like, where does the music inspiration come from? Like, did it come later in life? Was it a young thing? Was it your dad driving around a pickup truck? You listening to 90s? Cause I know you're a big 90s fan.
Yeah,
Same,
well,
dude,
I
same.
am. I mean, that was, I always loved music. I grew up I mean, my first tape I had was Michael Jackson Thriller. That's
dude.
the age I am. I'm 45.
Great record.
I was born the same year as Jonathan Singleton.
Oh, nice.
Maybe Josh Thompson as well. I don't know.
You guys are old.
Yeah,
cats.
we are.
You're not old.
I went bald before I was 30, though. But
Music industry will do that too.
man, I just
so will kids.
Yeah, I loved it. I started playing piano when I was in like kindergarten, then picked up guitar in like first grade, wanted to learn. My parents aren't musical, but my dad, there was a secretary, I think at his school or church, who played guitar. And so she taught me some chords. And
wow.
I just, from first, second grade, I just started making up. I would say it was more like choruses, when like fully songs, but I just loved writing music and
Rock, worms, and dirt, dude.
and so, yeah, just whatever inspired me.
Absolutely.
And in high school, I really, it's 90s country hit. My parents always listened to country music on the radio growing up, so I was into it. I think in the 90s too, it's like when I was a teenager, it's I loved all kinds of music.
Yeah.
Hip hop, rock was huge back then.
Yep.
But I could start relating to the lyrics more in country music.
Yeah.
And just loved the songs and the stories. And yeah, man, I did a family trip to Nashville summer between my sophomore and junior year, saw a show at the Bluebird, and was like, that's what I want to do.
Wow.
Dang.
And
Who'd you see? Who was playing?
Yeah, do you remember?
Tony Arata was
I was
the one.
about to say Tony. I almost said, I bet it was Tony Arata. It seems like everybody sees
Late show.
Tony Arata
Yeah.
at the
Late
Bluebird
show.
and gets
Yeah.
And
inspired.
I'd never, I was sitting this close to the guy who wrote this, Garth Brooks,
Yeah.
I was just like, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
I know these
He's
songs.
right there.
It's a pretty incredible
Got his
thing.
autograph afterwards.
Sure.
Like, this is unreal. Like,
Yeah.
that is so cool.
Yeah.
And so that's what really pointed me down here. My mom found out about the music business program at MTSU, and I thought that sounded pretty cool. I wasn't like completely delusional. I was like, to get to be a songwriter, that might happen, it might not, but I'd like to at least be near country music.
Yep.
So that's what got me here, man.
What year did you move? What year did you go to MTSU? Did you do the RIM program?
Yep.
Yeah, I did too.
97, graduated there in 01. While I was in school, was coming up to Nashville doing open mics. I used to play every Monday at the Broken Spoke, which it's not there anymore, but I'd play. It was like me, Joel Shoemake, Matt Ramsey.
All successful
Two brothers
songwriters now.
named
Great
Matt
dudes.
and Ryan Fleener. I don't know if you remember them. They were later on, they did a band with Jeff Middleton called Dirt Drifters.
Remember them? Yep.
And then we were kind of like the early stuff, and then at night was Tony Lane and Chris Wallen and Anthony Smith.
Dude.
So it was a very inspiring time.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
started getting some good publishing meetings, and then my very first publishing meeting with Chris Oglesby at BMG. He was the first guy who I would say really kind of looking interest in my songs, like
Sure.
at least made me feel like, hey, this is a possibility. Him and Scott Gunner over at Alma Irving at the time. Rusty Gaston took a meeting with me at Songgarden. Carla Wallace, Big Yellow Dog, Troy Tomlinson at Acuff Rose. They all,
You were doing the run.
and everybody was very encouraging. But Chris, 2 years after that first meeting, offered me my first deal.
Man, that's cool.
And that was it. I was in kind of.
Yeah, no, isn't it weird how that's the thing? It's like, oh man, if I could just get a deal.
Oh, I know.
Man, I don't care how much it pays if it's just enough to get off this truck, And then it's like, oh, if I can get a cut.
3 years after my first pub deal, I got my first cut. And then
Who was your first
single
cut? Who was your
Fun-
first cut?
Leanne Womack.
Oh, strong.
A song called Painless.
Strong.
Album cut.
I was in traffic this morning, and I just put on "Take a Back Road," and was literally, it was red light or tail light to tail light, thinking, man, this that song is it's so true. Just being in the moment, in traffic, sitting there, take a back road, wanting to get out, and yeah, it was pretty cool to sit there and listen to that. Do you draw?
I'm sure that was important, that thing you had to say. But it's the time of the show for the one that got
It's been a minute.
Way.
So that we do this thing called.
He's like, what just
Yeah, he's like,
happened?
what? Yeah, what in the world? We do this thing called the one that got away, and it could be a deer, it could be a fish, it could be a song, like a single.
Could be
that's
a girl.
supposed to
We don't
happen.
recommend that.
'Cause you're
We
married.
don't recommend that.
Yeah.
But it could be.
We'll stay away from that. Is there something that comes to mind that is
Anything in your life that got away that you're like, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, shock. Got him.
Dude, okay, that makes me think. This is for sure the
Good
one
job,
that got
Dan.
away.
Good
Because it
job.
was my very first cut. I didn't have any songs out, and I got a chance to write with Craig Wiseman. He wrote at the publishing company where I was. And it was a day where I got canceled on, he got canceled on, so he just comes up. I didn't even have time to get super nervous about it.
Sure.
You want to write? And so
He was probably smoking at that time.
Yeah. I mean, he had just, he was,
that
it was right
ever been a
before he
time
left there to start Big Loud Show.
Gotcha.
So I was like, so we wrote. I was so nervous. I still get nervous doing rights for the first time. You just want to deliver.
Sure. No, I definitely know.
But we just wrote this song, and I'm not saying it was an amazing song, but I was like, this is cool. I got a song with Craig Wiseman. A few weeks later, get a call, Kenny Chesney. And I was like, I mean, Kenny didn't call me.
I was like, what?
No,
I've called you?
I've never talked to Kenny. So they're
incredible.
like, and I was literally like, wow, it really works that way. You write with Craig Wiseman, you get a Kenny Chesney cut.
Yeah.
So he cut it. I was so
he cut
excited.
it?
Kenny cut the song. It was my first cut. It was just something Craig and I wrote.
Sounds very familiar.
I mean, that's far. That's pretty far down the road. I mean, if he cut it though,
And 7 months later, get the call, not making the record.
I've gotten
Man, that was, and I didn't have any cuts. So
Yeah.
that was like, this is going to keep me in my deal for a year, hopefully. And then it didn't make it. And I was like, oh, here we go again.
Dude, I've literally have that same call. Kenny cut a song that we wrote, and it would have. I mean, bro, I had like $7 in my bank account. And,
You were already done.
oh, dude, I was buying a house.
Yeah.
I was, you know,
he was-
We got to
moving,
get serious here. Yeah.
dude. And then cut it. Went to the studio, cut it. Told people it was great. Sounds awesome. Publisher calls and it's like, hey man, it didn't make the cut.
didn't do it.
Yeah,
But
I was sad that day. Here's another thing we do, and this is another like bomb I'm about to drop on you. What's your favorite country song ever written, or ever like here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna we're gonna do a playlist of songs that our guests say. So we've had Humble and Kind. We've had
Stop loving her today.
He Stopped Loving Her
yeah.
Today. 3 Wooden Crosses. Yeah.
So you can't pick those.
No, it's all
If
good.
you have just one that comes to mind, just off the top of your head.
Yeah. Honestly, this is, I mean, obviously there's so many, but
Right.
I think kind of because I'm thinking about getting my first deal and all that. The year I signed my first deal, a demo came in to the publishing company, and it was the good stuff.
Ooh,
And it was, Craig Wiseman and Jim Collins wrote that. And it was Craig's demo. And I was just like,
Real song, man.
it gave me chills. I was like, part of me was like, man, I'm so out of my league.
What am I doing here? Yeah.
And it was
I feel
just
that.
those kind of songs. Not that there was a lot of them, but like that kind of song, when it came through, man, you're like, somebody's going to record that.
Yeah.
And I remember I still had 5 roommates in Murfreesboro that, kind of like the college roommates that we still lived together. And I remember taking that demo back, like, check this song. Like, you're going to hear that. Like, Kenny hadn't even cut it yet.
Really?
And,
You
and
knew?
I was just like, this song is incredible.
Yeah,
And
it
I just loved that song. So I could go on and on. And
No, that's a great
No,
one.
I
different
wish-
eras. And
Yeah.
different-
That's a great one.
I can't believe it's been an hour.
Dude, it goes
That
by
felt like
so
10
fast.
minutes.
we might have to
man.
do a part 2,
Yeah,
depending
let's-
on how the response is.
No,
I would love to, man,
have you
because-
Well, I
back,
would,
man.
because I know I want to hear about your guys' stuff.
Oh, dude, no,
We don't
you're
care
the
about
guest, bro. Why don't you start a podcast and you can have a song? The Luke Laird Show. We can do it at your cabin.
Thanks
while
for coming
we
by,
hunt.
man. Even
Yeah,
just
thank
for a
you.
Dude, you're
little while.
awesome.
We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
and we've
Thank
just
you.
hung out for an hour now, but
No,
yeah,
this
I
is-
feel
Can
some
we,
common ground.
Maybe we should create something together.
I would love to.
Yeah, we'll get
If Rusty
we'll
allows
get
it.
Jordan and Beth.
If
on
Rusty
that.
Oh
allows
yeah,
it.
definitely go straight to Beth and Jordan.
Yeah, man, Luke Laird, future Hall of Famer, dude.
Dude, 16th, 17th royalty in
ain't
here
no
today.
doubt, man. Ain't no doubt.
Big
Thank you,
shot for
guys.
us.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to God's Country. Man, it goes by so fast. My mind is
I
blown
am
that
too,
the
man.
time
I
our
looked at
time's
the
up.
thing and I was like, 57.
I know.
I never
and-
even looked at it. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
but you gotta go.
And
He's gotta go.
when we
Wrap it
get
up.
the this thing, I'm just like, wait, what? But anyway, you're
Please
off in
come-
God's
come
country.
back with us.
Thanks for hanging out. We're gonna have Laird back, man. Luke ain't scared, Laird.
You ain't
I'll
scared.
take it.
You ain't scared.
Thanks, y'all.